A lot of folks in the media that try to, anytime a Republican is in front of a TV camera, try to say the election was fair and square and legitimate. You know who y'all don't do that to? You don't do it to Hillary Clinton, who stood up and said Trump stole the election. Sitting here, and you were fine with her saying it was illegitimate for Republicans to win.
He knows he's an illegitimate president. So of course he's obsessed with me, an illegitimate president.
You can run the best campaign. You can even become the nominee. And you can have the election stolen from.
And now she believes an election that hasn't even happened yet is going to be stolen. The Biden DOJ is claiming that threats to election workers are a threat to democracy. And the Democrats are funding Trump candidates, all to set up what I like to call the Great Deny. And we're going to talk about it. I'm your host, Hyde. This is Hide and Seek Media. Hello, all you beautiful and amazing people. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to the show. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified anytime I drop a new video. The show is brought to you by the Hide and Seek Media store. If you're like me and you like to spark a conversation or just make a statement without saying too much, click the merch link down below and check out all the cool merchandise we have to offer. And if you use code 1776, I'll give you 20% off your entire order. So Hillary Clinton comes out and claims that the 2024 presidential election is going to be stolen by right-wing extremists in an effort to soften the blow when the Democrats lose in 2024. Just as they're doing now in the midterms when you have the DOJ saying that, you know, any threat to an election worker is a threat to democracy and we have to protect election workers at all costs, and every threat will be investigated and prosecuted. Okay. But we didn't do that in 2020 when election officials and election workers were denying access to people and boarding up windows and whatever. But I digress. We'll get into all of that in a little bit. But the other thing they're doing is the Democrats are funding Trump candidates as a strategy to get them into the general so that the Democrats can beat them. I don't think that plan is going to work out too well in their favor come the midterms, and definitely not in 2024. But we're going to talk about all of that and much more. So let's jump into this first article from the Daily Wire. Hillary Clinton gets jump on 2024 election denial, says right-wing extremists plotting a steal. Hillary Clinton is getting a jump on the 2024 election denial. The former First Lady, U.S. Senator, Secretary of State, and twice failed presidential candidate recently warned that right-wing extremists are plotting to steal the 2024 presidential election. Clinton made the divisive claim in a video released last week and addressed to indivisibles. Not us deplorables, but those indivisibles. Right-wing extremists already have a plan to literally steal the next presidential election, Clinton said, urging her followers to help crush the coup she believes could happen in 2 years. And they're not making a secret of it. Quote unquote. Clinton famously accused former President George W. Bush of being selected and not elected.
Bush versus Gore. A court took away a presidency.
Over her husband Bill's former Vice President Al Gore in 2000. And when she lost in 2016 after falsely accusing former President Trump of colluding with Russians, she waited a full day to deliver a concession speech. And she continued to hint darkly that the election was unfair. And roll that footage.
Right-wing extremists already have a plan to literally steal the next presidential election. But there's also good news in the face of this very real threat to democracy. Indivisible has launched Crush the Coup to make sure we're ready to defend democracy in 2024.
They go on to say, there was a widespread understanding that this election in 2016 was not on the level, Clinton told The Atlantic in October of 2020. We still don't know what really happened. There's just a lot that I think will be revealed. History will discover, she said, but you don't win the popular vote by 3 million votes and have all this other shenanigans and stuff going on and not come away with an idea like, whoa, something's not right here. That was a deep sense of unease. And so I'm going to pause right there for a second, because this reminds me a lot of what Donald Trump was saying in 2020. You had an incumbent president who got 10 million more votes than he got the year before, increased his percentage in the minority vote, and still lost by like 7 million votes, right? Like, so that's well, in the popular vote, he lost 7 million votes, but in the electoral college, it was just a few thousand in a couple of states that could have swayed it either way. But I digress. That's all over with, and I'm not here to talk about the 2020 election and in that capacity. But what I did want to bring up was, and I like to reference this article a number of times in a number of different videos. So if you get a chance after this video, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and then go check out, my news playlist, and you'll find it in one of these other videos of mine where I reference this article quite a bit. But this story from Time Magazine, the secret history of the shadow campaign that saved the 2020 election. Now, for those of you who are subscribers to my channel and have seen me reference this story before, or those of you who are up to speed on what's going on in politics and know about this story, in this article, they talk about how they got poll workers together and basically did exactly what Hillary Clinton is warning that these right-wing extremists are planning to do in 2024. So if they did it in 2020 and it was called saving the election, and now the other side is going to do the same thing in 2024, and they're calling it a threat, and that it's an attempt to steal the election. You see the hypocrisy there? Like, if you do, then what I'm doing here is working. If you don't, stay tuned. I'll give you some more examples here in a few minutes. But I want to show you this excerpt from that story from Time Magazine. The handshake between business and labor was just one component of a vast cross-partisan campaign to protect the election, an extraordinary shadow effort dedicated not to winning the vote, but to ensuring it would be free and fair, credible and uncorrupted. For more than a year, a loosely organized coalition of operatives scrambled to shore up America's institutions as they came under simultaneously attack from remorseless pandemic and an autocratically inclined president. Down here, their work touched every aspect of the election. They got states to change voting systems and laws and helped secure hundreds of millions in public and private funding. That would be Mark Zuckerberg donating hundreds of $millions in key states for election equipment and election security. Pardon me. They fended off voter suppression lawsuits, recruited armies of poll workers, and got millions of people to vote by mail for the first time. So, recruited armies of poll workers. Now, when Republicans go out there, or America First, candidates and campaigns go out there and start recruiting poll workers to work the polls and get registering people to vote now it's an attempt to steal the election. But when you did it in 2020, it was an attempt to secure the election, to make it safe, fair, and free. even though someone argued that it wasn't. You had the instances in only subscribers on my locals channel get to see the content that I just cut out because I can't put it up on YouTube. So if you want to see content that I can't put up here, that and parts of the videos that I have to cut out because I can't put it up on YouTube, then head on over to locals and become a member, because that's the only way you're going to get to see that content. But all this really is doing is setting everything up for the great denial, right? Because they know they're going to lose the midterms. Everybody pretty much has come to the same conclusion that it's going to be a sweep. The House is definitely going to go back red. And the House or the Senate, if it doesn't lean a little bit more red, it'll stay split 50-50 and nothing will get done for 2 more years. So that's why you have Merrick Garland's DOJ prosecuting anybody who threatens poll workers or volunteers or anything of that nature to the highest degree. There's this story here from timcast.com. Merrick Garland, DOJ has obligation, will not allow voters to be intimidated. A threat to any election official, worker, or volunteer is, at bottom, a threat to democracy, said Deputy AG Lisa Monaco. On Monday, United States Attorney General Merrick Garland said the Department of Justice had an obligation to ensure voters will not be intimidated in the upcoming midterm elections. A reporter asked Garland his concerns about voter intimidation regarding armed polling stations in Arizona and Texas. The Justice Department has an obligation to guarantee a free and fair vote by everyone who's qualified to vote and will not permit voters to be intimidated. An unidentified voter and their wife alleged they were apprehended by a group of individuals while dropping off their ballot at an early voting drop box in Arizona. The group of individuals reportedly took photographs of their license plate, followed the voters as they left. The instance has been referred to the Arizona Attorney General's office along with the DOJ, CNN has reported. On Friday, a separate instance in Arizona alleged 2 armed individuals wearing tactical apparel were seen at a ballot drop box in Mesa, though the group reportedly dispersed when the county sheriff's office arrived. Okay, so hard pause right here because I want to talk to you guys about what's going on. Okay, these are citizens. And again, I apologize to you guys on YouTube for missing out on that hard pause, but that is for my locals only community because I can't post some of these things on YouTube without getting my video stricken down and my channel given a strike, which I've already gotten multiple strikes for. That's why I only have 78 subscribers, because I don't get the impressions that I want. I don't get shared in the algorithm because YouTube doesn't want people seeing my videos. They strike me down all the time. I get videos removed all the time. And so if you want to see the content I'm not allowed to put up on YouTube, click the link down below, head on over to my locals community and become a member. With your membership, you'll get access to all of that content that I can't upload here on YouTube. And for those of you who say, hey, why don't you go over to Rumble? Go check out my channel over on Rumble. I've got one over there too. It's just that Rumble's algorithm doesn't work in my favor. Does not show my videos and is more self-serving for Rumble than it is for its users. So I'm cautious of using that platform. Besides, Rumble doesn't have the reach that YouTube does. So make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. But let's get back to the great deny, right? Because again, that's what all of this is doing. That's what all of these stories are setting up. That's what all of these, that's what Merrick Garland is setting up. That's what Hillary Clinton is setting up. They're all setting up this great deny and backing Trump candidates so that they win their primaries because they'll be easier to beat in the general is a dumb idea. I don't know who told these people that that was a good strategy, but I disagree. See, the problem with that strategy is that a lot of these Trump-backed candidates aren't the right-wing extremists that the media tries to make them out to be. Some of them do take it to the extreme. Okay, I will say that some of them are a little more bombastic, like Trump is, than some of us would like. Okay, but you know what? At the end of the day, those bombastic people are getting things done. They're holding people accountable and trying to focus on America, which is what most of us really want. Let's make sure we have a good life for all the citizens here in this country first before we worry about what's going on in the rest of the world. So, I have this story pulled up from the Post Millennial. Katie Hobbs' sister reveals Dems donated to extreme Trump-backed candidates to ensure their victory. Becky Hobbs told Project Veritas that they wanted those extremists to win because they knew the Dems had a better chance of winning their races against extremist candidates than they did against the moderate Republicans. Let's see, they have the video, I think, right here. We can.
So all across the country, Democrat candidates, not candidates themselves, but the party, was putting money in primaries into the races of the extreme Trump-endorsed candidates, as opposed to the moderate Republicans that were running, because they wanted those extremists to win, because they knew that the Dems had a better chance of winning their races against the extremist candidates than they did against the moderate Republicans.
Now, I'm not going to say that this is a smart strategy because you're going to get wiped in these midterm elections by doing that. Okay? Because most Americans remember the economy under Trump before COVID. Most hardworking middle-class Americans like myself remember what it was like to not have to worry about spending $100+ every week to fill up their vehicle with gas. I remember when it was half that. I remember when groceries were 30 to 40% cheaper than they are now. Inflation is killing this economy and killing the middle class. So that's where they're going to vote. They're going to vote with their wallet. They're not going to vote with their heart on Roe versus Wade or abortion. They're going to vote with their wallet. At the end of the day, if you can't feed yourself, there's no point in worrying about anything else. If you can't afford to go to work because you can't afford the gas in your vehicle anymore, there's really no point in worrying about any of that other stuff, right? Living on the street, there's free clinics you can go to take care of, a unplanned pregnancy. So if that's how you want to live, by all means, vote blue. If you want to live on the streets, live in pods and eat bugs and own nothing and be happy, then vote blue. But if you really want your freedom to choose how to live your life however you want, then the only solution isn't necessarily voting Republican. It's voting America. Okay? That's what I'm going to be telling people to do now, is not vote red, vote blue. Vote for America. Not equity, but true equality. Right now, no country wants to be like the United States of America. And that, my friends, is a shame. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. If you've made it all the way to the end of the video, I appreciate you guys making it this far. It really does mean a lot to me. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified anytime I drop a new video. If you like this video, smash that like button. Share this video on all social media platforms. Those interactions will make YouTube's algorithm share my video more, and that's how I'll get more subscribers. But I need you guys to hit those buttons. Share this video, smash that like button, and hit that subscribe button. I appreciate everything you guys are doing, and I will catch you later. Peace.